Like damn, she in her mood. 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 She lit, get money too. Like damn, she in her mood. In the mirror, I'm doing my dance. Ain't you packing out nobody's pants. He a rapper, but don't got a chance. Stuck in my waist, so I'm loving my bands. Like a million views in a day. There's so many ways to get paid. I tried dipping, he begged me to stay. Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play. In the party, he just wanna rump. Big boobs in the bus, they plump. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie friend. They like, I tell you, always stay hot. Oh, they mad cause I keep making bops. Oh, she mad cause I'm taking her spot. If I was bitches, I'd hate me a lot. Like damn, she in her mood. Like damn, she in her mood. Like damn, she in her mood.
I've recently been exploring what it means to go from expert to icon. The identity shift, the strategy shift, energetic shift, from just being a coach or service provider or business owner to really thinking of yourself as a personal brand powerhouse, leading a movement, being able to profit from multi-passions, being able to have the space for other brand projects, monetization, and that is the direction that my business is headed. And I'm so excited to share because for all the month of November, I am actually leading a content series on TikTok called Project Powerhouse, helping you become one, elevating your content, growing your brand organically, and I have an all-new offer coming out, Project Powerhouse, which is going to enable you to do that, as well as new Black Friday offers, so make sure you're on the Wealthy Visionary newsletter list so you don't miss all the special offers this month. It's Kate Visser. Today we are going to help you go from expert to icon, stepping into your personal brand powerhouse era. I want to talk about how to see yourself as a personal brand, going from just thinking of yourself as a niched expert and how to start to see yourself as a personal brand icon, a personal brand powerhouse, and some fun, creative, and easy ways that you can start to embody your personal brand identity, persona, and build stronger brand connection and your body of work. You're probably here because you want to see yourself as more than just a coach, service provider, niched expert. Maybe you already have a successful business. Maybe you already scaled to multiple six figures. Or maybe you're in the growth and development stages and you're wanting to explore how you can create more of a personal brand, incorporating more of yourself, more of your story, opening up more opportunities for brand deals and connections, and also being able to sell different types of offers at different price points. Either way, you know that you're here for more. You want to connect with people, you want to share your story, and well, you want to see yourself as more of an icon. You want to claim your personal brand powerhouse era. You don't just want to be another coach, another service provider, and you also don't just want to be another content creator or influencer. You want to build a brand. You want to be known for something. You want to stand out. And you want to build a brand and a body of work that you can feel proud of and is intentional. This is one of the most helpful strategic shifts that you can begin right away when you want to be creating better content, building a community, growing your brand, and especially when you want to be able to profit from a multi-passionate business, is seeing yourself as the personal brand. We have to understand that when you're a niche service provider, your niche and your expertise is your brand message, like your signature tagline, your slogan, your elevator pitch, like I am Kate and I help visionary entrepreneurs sell online. We have to go beyond our I help statements and start to instead enter the room, enter our trainings, enter social media with who we are, how we are leading our brand, our opinions, our values, and inviting people into our world and not just by what we serve or what we sell. That alone is a biggest strategic shift that's going to help you start create better content and gain more momentum through your brand and sales growth. I made the personal brand shift a couple years ago with my rebrand. I built my business to 6 figures, and as I started to scale to multiple 6 figures, I realized that I no longer just wanted to be known as the business coach. I no longer just wanted to have one signature tagline, feel like I had to niche into one expertise and only have one core signature offer that I could scale by, and that I had to continue to anchor into to have scalability to then grow to multiple 6 figures and $1 million. Well, friends, I made the pivot, I rebranded, and we are here now, and I can tell you the water is warm and it is possible to have a personal brand, still be professional, still hold authority, and be able to not only have an expansive personal brand that allows you to connect more, grow your brand, monetize, and sell under multi-passions, it's also possible to do so in a way that doesn't overwhelm you, doesn't feel messy or chaotic, and also doesn't create a business model that takes up all of your time. I actually have more capacity for growth scalability and more freedom now than I had when before I had a more high-ticket, hyper-niche business model. Now, I'm not saying that you can't sell high-ticket. That can totally fit into a personal brand and multi-passionate business model. But what I am saying, that if you don't want to be known as just a niched expert service provider, there is another way. And you can still have scalability, you can still be professional, and you can still make sales. So to start to see yourself as a personal brand powerhouse, to start to create better personal brand content, I think you have to first see yourself as that. As someone who is capable of creating a personal brand, as someone you like, and starting to understand who you are as a person and also who you want to be online. Really being intentional with how you're building your brand persona and character and story is going to set the tone for who you are attracting, the quality of your community, and also your ability to sell what you want to sell and the kind of opportunities that will be available to you. So it doesn't mean that you have to share every vulnerable bit of your life. It doesn't mean that you have to immediately be relatable on everything. What's actually kind of funny is as I rebranded and pivoted a couple of years ago and now have a more personal brand, I actually share less on some personal things, partly because I've been doing a lot of healing in my mental health the past couple of years, but also because I really want to be intentional. My page is obviously like about me and share my life and connect with you, but I am also still a coach and a service provider, and I'm here to communicate my expertise of what I do and my different offers and the ways we can work together, but I don't need to share about my dating life. I don't need to share the details of what's going on with my family. I really don't feel like talking about that anymore. And two, the more intentional you get with your content, the cleaner and more tight and consistent it's going to be. And that consistency alone will create trust. Okay, let's first talk strategy before we go into some of these creative embodiment exercises. So the first three things that are going to be really helpful and easy to explore and work on immediately to help you understand who you are in your personal brand and what to communicate to be building it intentionally and strategically is first understanding the story that you want to be sharing and you're inviting people into, the direction you're going and the direction you want to be taking people, and thirdly, where you are on the personal branding spectrum. Sharing your story doesn't mean that you're sharing your whole story of your whole life or your entrepreneurial journey or your whole business story. It's the story that's relevant to what you're inviting people into. Are you selling me something through maybe your expertise and your multi-passions? And so what's the story that's going to lead me into my interest and desire for transformation through those different offers? Maybe it's a connecting story that's emotionally resonating. Either way, you can share a whole story, parts of a story, or different parts of a story throughout your content creation every single month, each week, that creates a consistent vibe, narrative, and persona that we aspire to be, we connect with, we trust, we feel safe in, expanded by. And that's where you two have to really decide what is your ideal person looking for in your story. This is a big piece that people really miss out on when they're building personal brands that are effective in attracting the right people. Maybe you start sharing really emotional content that's really emotionally resonating and relatable, but then you're trying to sell really high ticket or high authority services, and there's a really big emotional disconnect. So even when you have a personal brand, it doesn't just mean that you just share everything in your whole life. It means that you choose to create a narrative very intentionally, just like you would with a niche brand. This allows you to have profitability, to grow your brand. And you need to know what you're sharing and what you want to be known for. So try to think about the direction that you're taking people in your story. What are they seeking? Are they seeking to find that emotional resonance and relatability? That might fit like a therapy brand or emotional health brand, right? Maybe they're looking to be triggered, expanded, challenged. That would go well for like a coaching or business brand, right? Maybe they're looking for a higher perspective, a new vision, creative and fun content, right? There's so many different ways that you can be positioning a story and inviting us into it. So it's not all just about storytelling. Share more stories. It's how you're sharing it. It's the direction you're taking me on. And that should be aligned with what you want to be known for, who you want to be, like how you want to keep showing up. Do you enjoy that? Because that needs to be sustainable for you. And it should obviously be in alignment with the direction you want to take people in terms of your funnels, your offers, how you want to be growing things, and that spectrum piece. This is going to help you know how much of your story to share, what you should be sharing on. I dive more into how to know where you are on the personal branding spectrum and what that means for your content and what's relevant for you to share inside my personal brand building content guidebook, which is only $14.99. You can explore it right here or grab it below, because this was such a clarifying piece for me when I was creating a more intentional personal brand and pivoting to this positioning I had to figure out how much do I want to be sharing, because like I said, beforehand, I used to share a lot, and I started to attract people that resonated with the really vulnerable and emotional things I was sharing, and that was great. I was building community. I was sharing a lot about my mental health at the time. I was sharing a lot about my health. I was sharing about a lot of like emotional struggles, and that was resonating with people. It created connection. I started to grow my brand, but I did start to kind of attract the wrong people because I wasn't a therapist. I wasn't there to help them with their trauma. I wasn't there to diagnose or like emotionally support people in that sense. I was there to coach them towards their future selves, their greater selves, business results, mentor them through their business and brand growth. So I had to figure out, what do I want to be sharing? What do I want to be known for? So figure out the direction through your story you want to be guiding people in, and two, how much do you want to be sharing? So to give you a sneak peek, I really like to think of the personal brand scale from like a 1 to a 5. So someone who would be like a 5 scale, just as example, would be like Michaela Noguera, the makeup influencer on TikTok, right? She shares about herself, her personal life, parts of her home, parts of her family, her kind of more niche content that's relevant to what she sells and monetizes, which is like makeup and beauty and now some fashion. But like, she's a very 5 scale personal brand, while you also have people that are like Paris Hilton, which is probably more on the like 3 to 4 scale. They still have a very like expansive personal brand. They're selling lots of different things, and they still share a lot about their personal life. But Paris isn't sharing like every nitty gritty detail of her emotions and what's going on. And then you have people also like, I think that are great examples, like Yana Robinson, also a very personal brand, a little bit more niche. She's probably, again, like a 3 scale, 4 scale maybe. I'm right between a like 3 and 4 scale. But then you also have people that like I follow on social media. I think someone that's a really great example of like the 1 to 2 scale is actually a trademark lawyer that I've been following, Chandler from Lethal Legal, because she does share more personal content, personal experiences and storytelling. She shares about being a mom. She's talked about like her fitness journey and like entrepreneurial mindset and a lot of different things. She doesn't just talk about trademarking, but it feels really relevant to the story that she's creating, the type of people that she wants to be building community with, right? Like independent, go-getter, strong-willed, entrepreneurial people that want to build an iconic, influential personal brand. They want to protect their IP. They want to get those trademarks. They want to be lethal in their legal, right? So like, I love her branding. I love her positioning. And that's a really great example of like the 1 to 2 scale. And then like full 1 scale is probably more like the corporate brands that are a corporate facing brand. Think something like Meta or Target, like an actual corporation, or maybe someone who's an accountant or something. They may share personal brand content to help build some kind of human connection, but they aren't like a full-fledged personal facing brand. They aren't creating influencer worthy type of content. So they might be trying to relate with people on a relatable level that directly relates to their product or service, but they aren't going to be sharing personal stories as much, like from the CEO themselves. It's more so to help you see that they get you and that you can trust them. So again, I dive more into that inside the Personal Brand Builder content guidebook. Grab it below for just $14.99. Now let's talk about some of those creative ways that you can be imagining what your brand persona is and embodying more of this personal brand powerhouse energy so you can be sharing more and showing up more confidently and authentically. Now, I don't know about you, but as someone with ADHD, I often like to start my development or creative process creatively. I'm a very visual person. So sometimes when I'm creating a new offer or I'm trying to communicate my brand messaging or my content through a marketing campaign, the start of a launch, I will create a vision board. I will create like a outfit guide. I will start out with something creative and visual. So know that there's not always like a really perfect way to start out your strategy for your content, for offer development, for a rebrand. Sometimes I can start with something really creative that helps you see yourself as something and not just force yourself to be or do something that you don't yet feel that you can embody. This really helps connect you with that future version of yourself and bring it into the now. And these are exercises that I'm not just suggesting to you. These are things that I use all the time. Whenever I'm getting ready for a launch, I will do a lot of these exercises, or when I'm getting ready for a new quarter, or I'm just kind of lacking confidence. Because the real ones know, the entrepreneurs who have been building their businesses for years like me, who are in this for the long run and are serious about building personal brands that create impact, influence, and a lot of income, know that it's up to you to stay confident, embodied, and consistent in your intention, in your energy, and in your consistent content and communication. And that's your job to create that leadership and keep up that energy and momentum. And it's not your audience's responsibility to always be affirming you or buying from you. You have to keep up that energy and keep it potent and really maintain self-conviction so that people can consistently understand that, connect with you. You always set the tone first, not the other way around. Another embodiment exercise that I don't feel like we talk about enough is actually creating a curated brand wardrobe. This can be picking out items that you already have in your closet. You don't even always have to go shopping. It can be picking out outfits or clothing pieces in on-brand colors, things that you feel like help build your brand persona, or building a specifically curated wardrobe that you can be wearing in your content. Another exercise that I love that kind of plays off of using Pinterest is turning that brand vibes mood board or character storyboard into a phone wallpaper or some kind of collage that you can save on your desktop or your iPad as a visual reminder of who you are embodying, who you're becoming, and what is the story that you're sharing. I think it's so easy to feel disembodied as we go throughout day-to-day lives. So having small subliminal imagery and cues to kind of pull you back into, this is right, this is who I am, this is the journey I'm on, this is the story that I'm crafting and I'm sharing. That brings it more into your reality and makes it feel a little bit more real to your subconscious, because basically what you want to be doing is be re-hypnotizing yourself around who you want to be, this story you want to be crafting, inviting people into, and really like living throughout your brand, living through your brand character. Because right now, a large reason why you may not have the results you want to have in your life, because you're living through your reality and your emotions and not through that embodied brand character. A second fun and creative exercise that has been really helpful for me to work through with my clients before is writing a story of your brand character. Kind of like writing a book or a movie script. What did this character share with their audience? How did they persevere through a challenge? What did they share? How were they sharing it? Who were they being? What was the catalyst and the thing they had to learn, grow through, accept to get there? This is where your expertise and offers come in, where you're going to create those bridges and funnels you have mastered. Show your expertise and get them into those freebies and those offers. So write the story from the perspective of either you as the brand character, or it can also be from the lens of your ideal client. That can be really helpful too. I know when I had a client a couple years ago through one-on-one coaching, she was a yoga teacher, but she had also been a VA and she had worked with a lot of life coaches, and she wanted to kind of bridge some of her work and do more like money and mindset coaching. And so we were trying to figure out the transformation and also like the type of person that she wanted to be working with, and further how she should be sharing her content. What should she be sharing? What parts of her passion does she include? What parts of her story? What are people going to resonate with, and what's going to speak to them and move them into her offers and into her brand? So we had to write the story from the perspective of her ideal client. Where were they at in their lives? What were they dealing with? What were the challenges they were facing? What did they want? Who did they want to be? What was the thing that was standing in their way? And what was the catalyst and thing that they had to do, accept, or change to finally get to this other side? And then what's the process and plan to get them there? This is, again, where you come in. You can even use this exercise to get ready to start a launch, or when you're developing a new offer or improving the sales page of your current offer. Start to write a story of where your ideal client or audience member is at and how they're going to progress through this story, and where your offer comes into that. That's going to help you see how to start to crafting better content to sell this thing. So friend, I hope these exercises were helpful for you, and I hope you can get started with one this weekend. And reminder that you set the tone for your personal brand, for how you want to be perceived, what you want to be known for, and what you make available to you. It's really a process of manifestation with first embodiment in your identity. And how do you start to communicate that? Well, it's through creating more strategic and better personal brand content with delusion, vision, and lots of coffee. I'll see you next time. Kate Visser, signing out.
You wake up, house up, run around in it.
This diamond, my diamond. This rock, my rock. I woke up like this. I woke up like this. We flawless. Ladies, tell them I woke up like this. I woke up like this. We flawless. Ladies, tell them say I look so good tonight. Goddamn, say I look so good.